Hey there, and welcome to the continuation of the Chaffin's Barn 54th season. We've been making memories here for 54 years, and the main reason we've been able to do that is because of you, our great Chaffin's Barn audience, so thank you. And thank you for joining us today. My name is Adam Burnett, and I've been with Chaffin's Barn for 28 seasons now. And our great Chaffin's Barn theater team is led by Joy, Jenny, Curtis, Zak, and David. In keeping with Chaffin's Barn tradition, we're going to be offering you laughter, singing, and dancing, great entertainment through live stream videos and recorded shows. First up, we have today's comedy. It's called A Matter of Husbands. Then we have a children's show called One Shoe. And then over the next few weeks, you can look forward to fantastic variety shows that will remind you of the Carol Burnett Show or Laugh In and all the great song and dance shows of the past. Then we have a hilarious farce called Charlie's Wives. And then take a journey down memory lane as we take a sentimental journey throughout the years of singing and dancing with a show called America Sings. And then we have a Chaffin's Barn take on a Three Stooges episode. I can't wait for that one. We're also going to offer original children's programming that is sure to please everyone. Our Chaffin's Barn Theater Company, the Theater Advancement Production Society, or TAPS, has been operating as a nonprofit since 1999. And in those years, we've been able to sponsor many fundraisers and also donate over $30,000 in tickets to area churches and other nonprofit organizations. Because we are not charging for these online shows, we are selling sponsorships. And we're also asking anyone who would like to make a donation to do so. That way we can keep the outstanding entertainment coming and our actors acting. We are grateful for any and all donations of any amount. That being said, we would like to introduce our first sponsor, and that is Realtor Sara Upton, whose outstanding and helpful service can assist you with all of your real estate needs. Thank you, Sara. You can find Sara's contact information on our Chaffin's Barn website. And if you would like to be a sponsor yourself, please call David at 615-646-9977 or find him on the Chaffin's Barn website at www.chaffinsbarntheater.com. You can also help us out by liking us and following us on Facebook. And also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Chaffin's Barn YouTube channel. Thank you for that. In keeping with another Chaffin's Barn tradition, we want to recognize those who have served our country. So for those of you who are currently serving, our veterans, our retired, our reserves, we thank you. We salute you. We can never thank you enough for your service, your sacrifice, and your dedication to our great nation. And we want to go one step further as well, thanking those essential workers who have endured many hardships through these unprecedented times. We also salute you. We are grateful for you, and we thank you. As they say, the show must go on. So you will find that these shows will last from anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes to about an hour. Today's show, A Matter of Husbands, will last for about 20, 25 minutes. So I invite you right now to sit back, relax, and have a great time as you enjoy a Chaffin's Barn production of A Matter of Husbands.
Dear, when you smiled at me, I heard a melody. It haunted me from the start. Something inside of me started a symphony. Sing, let the strings of my heart. 'Twas like a breath of spring. I heard a robin sing about an nest set apart. All nature seemed to be in perfect harmony. haunted me from the start. Something inside of me started a symphony, sing with the strings of my heart. Was like a breath of spring. I heard a robin sing about a nest and a bird. All nature seemed to be in perfect harmony, sing with the strings of my heart. Your eyes makes my scene blue again. What else could I do again but keep repeating through and through? I love you. I still recall the thrill. I guess I always will. I hope we'll never depart. You with your lips to mine, a rhapsody divine. Sing what the strings of my heart. Yes? May I help you?
Give me back my husband!
Give you back your husband?
Yes! You're wondering which one he is. He's a blonde man, not very tall, wears spectacles. He's a lawyer, your manager's lawyer. Alfred is his name.
Oh, I have met him, yes.
I know you have, so give him back to me.
Do not mistake my silence for embarrassment. I am simply at a loss for how I can give you back your husband when I don't have him to give.
You just admitted that you knew him.
Well, that scarcely implies that I've taken him from you. Of course I know him. He drew up my last contract. And then it seems, yes, I have met him once or twice since then backstage. A rather nice-spoken, fair-haired gentleman. Did you say he wore spectacles?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember him with spectacles.
He probably took them off. He wanted to look his best for you, because he's in love with you. He never takes them off when I'm around because he doesn't care how he looks when I'm around because he doesn't love me. I implore you, give him back to me.
If you weren't such a foolish young woman, I should be very angry with you. Whatever gave you the impression that I took your husband from you?
He sends you flowers all the time.
Oh, that's not true.
It is.
It isn't. He has never sent me a flower a day in his life. Did he tell you he did?
No, I found out at the florist's. Flowers are sent to your dressing room twice a week and are charged to him.
That's a lie.
Oh, so you mean to say that I am lying?
I mean to say that someone is lying to you.
Well, what about this letter?
Letter?
Yes, he wrote it to you and he said...
He wrote it to me. Let me see.
No, I'll read it to you, thank you. My darling, shan't be able to call for you at the theater tonight. Urgent business. 1,000 apologies. 10,000 kisses. Alfred.
Oh.
I found it on his desk this morning. He probably meant to send it by messenger, but he forgot it.
You mustn't.
And I opened it!
Cry.
Why mustn't I? You steal my husband and I mustn't cry? Oh, I know how little it means to you and how easy it is for you. One night you dress up like a royal princess and the next you undress like a Greek goddess. You blacken your eyebrows, paint your lips, and thicken your lashes. You have bright lights and cosmetics to make you seem beautiful. And authors' lines to make you seem witty and wise. No wonder a simple-minded lawyer falls in love with you. Who am I in my own cheap little frock and my own lips and eyebrows, my own unstudied ways? I don't know how to strut and pose and lure a man. I haven't got Mr. Shakespeare to write beautiful speeches for me. You know, in reality, you might be more stupid than I am, but I must admit that when it comes to luring a man, I am no match for you.
Well, this is a very interesting case.
What is?
Yours.
Mine? What do you mean?
What I mean is that I have never received a flower, nor a letter, nor anything else from your husband. Tell me, have you and your husband been getting along badly of late?
Yes, of course.
But you used to be rather affectionate with each other.
Why, yes.
But as of late, you have been very cold.
Yes.
Of course, a typical case. Oh, my dear, if you only knew how often we actresses are met with such a thing. It is perfectly clear that your husband is performing a comedy to make you jealous, to revive your affection for him.
Do you really think that? Do you mean to say this sort of thing has happened to you before?
Endless times. It happens to any actress who is moderately pretty or successful. It is the oldest thing in the world, and we actresses are the most conspicuous target for it. Scarcely any man who is involved in the theater has not used us in this means at one time or another. Authors, composers, orchestra leaders, scenic designers, lawyers, and even the managers themselves. In order to regain a sweetheart or wife's affection, they simply invent a love affair with one of us. Oh, and the wives are always too ready to believe it. Usually, we don't know a thing about it. But we hardly mind when it is brought to our notice. There is some consolation in knowing we are the means to many a happy marriage that might have otherwise ended in the divorce court.
But how could I know that that's what you were doing?
Oh, my darling. Oh, you mustn't apologize. How could you have? I mean, it all seems so plausible. You fancy your husband in a world full of perpetual temptation, with backstage sirens with no morals or scruples. You fancy that one actress is more dangerous than 100 ordinary women. You hate us. You fear us. And no one knows this better than your husband, who is evidently a very cunning lawyer indeed. And so, he uses your fear and your jealousy to bring back the affection that you have denied him. He writes you letters and leaves them lying about for you to find them, which trusts no lawyer to do unintentionally. He orders flowers for me in the morning and no doubt cancels the order the moment he arrives at the office. Tell me, has he a lock of my hair?
Yes, I found it in his desk drawer this morning. Here it is.
They bribe my hairdressers to steal it from me. It is a wonder I have any hair left at all.
Is that how he got it?
I can't imagine how else he would have. And have you found any of my letters?
No.
Oh, well, don't be alarmed. I haven't written him any.
Well, why would you say such a thing?
Oh, well, I might have written him some letters if he had come to me frankly and said, Sara, I need your help. My wife and I have been getting along badly of late, and I need you to write me a passionate letter that I might leave lying around for her to find it. I would have written him a letter that would have left you crying into your pillow for a fortnight. I wrote 10 such letters to a prominent playwright once, but he had no luck with them. His wife was a rather proper person, and she returned them all to him unread.
Well, how clever you are. Oh, how good.
Well, I am no better nor worse than any girl of the theater, even though you do fancy us such monsters.
Oh, No, I've been such a perfect fool.
Well, you do look rather foolish standing there with tears in your eyes and your face flushed with happiness because you have just learned that a fair-haired, bespectacled man does love you after all. Oh, my dear, no man should be adored such as that. But then it is your affair, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, well, let me give you a piece of parting advice. Do not let him fool you again.
Oh, he won't. Never
No
fear.
matter what you find in his pockets, handkerchiefs or letters or a photograph of me, no matter what letters he writes or flowers he sends or appointment he makes, do not let him take you in a second time.
Oh, you be sure of that, and then you won't say anything to him about me coming here, will you?
Not a word. Frankly, I am a bit angry with him for using my name in this manner without my permission.
Well, you really are such a dear. I just don't know how to thank you.
Oh, well, just don't start crying again.
It made me just so happy. Your eyes made skies seem blue again. What else could I do again but keep repeating through and through, I love you, love you.
All right, Alfred, you can come out. She's gone.
Young Johnny Jones, he had a cute little boat, and all the girlies he would take for a float. He had girlies by the score, sweet little peaches on the shore. But Johnny was a Weisenheimer, you know. His steady girl was Flo. And every Sunday afternoon, they'd sit in his boat and they would spoon. And then he'd row, row, row. Way up the river he would row, row, row. A hug he'd give her, then he'd kiss her now and then. She would tell him when. They'd fool around, and then he'd kiss again, and then he'd row, row, row. A little further he would row. Then he'd drop both his oars, take a few more encores, and then he'd row, row, row. Now in his boat he had a cute little seat, and every kiss he stole from Flo was so sweet. And he knew just how to row. He was a rowing Romeo. He knew an island where the trees were so grand. He knew just where to land. Then he'd tell tales of love to Flo until it was time for them to go. And then he'd row, row, row. Way up the river he would row, row, row. A hug he'd give her, then he'd kiss her now and then. She would tell him when. He'd fool around, and then he'd kiss again. And then he'd row, row, row. A little further he would row. Then he'd drop both his oars, take a few more encores, and then he'd row, row, row. And he'd drop both his oars, take a few more encores, and then he'd row, row, row. Thank you so much for watching our video content.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And with all of our videos, please like, subscribe, and share.